Hi everyone. Let's discuss set number 2 of slot 3 CAT 2025. Let's read the information given in set. Arovia, Brilozia, and Sirena and Zerathania. So I'll read it by initial letter A, B, C, and Z are four countries with the currencies being Orals, Brins, Crowns, and Genta. So again A, B, C, Z. So their currencies are different. The currencies have different exchange values. Like Crown's currency exchange rate with Gentas is equal to zero point 0.5. So you can say 1 C is equal to zero point 0.5 Z. Then there are three travelers, JK and L, set out from Z visiting exactly two of the countries. So all the three people are visiting exactly two countries. Each country is visited by exactly two travelers. Each traveler's unique flight cost. So there is a unique flight cost which represents the total cost of airfare in traveling to both the countries and back to country Z. So all flight cost is total, all the flights together makes it a flight cost. And then the flight cost of Z was 4,000 Z, while that of other two travelers were 5,000 and 6,000 Z, not necessarily in that order. So for J, we are clear that flight cost is 4,000. But for other two traveler, there are two possibilities. When visiting a country, a traveler spent either 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in the country's local currency. So suppose a person visits to country A, he might spend either 1000 A, 2000 A or 3000 A in that country. And each traveler had different spend in the country's local currency. So for example, if J is visiting country A and B, he can't spend same amount of money in both the country. It has to be different. That value has to be different. Across all the visit, there were exactly two spends of 1000. So out of all these, total number of visits will become 6 because each traveler is visiting two countries, which means there are total 6 visits. Out of those total 6 visits, there are two spends of 1000, one spend of 3000. So rest 3 has to be spend of 2000. Then the total travel cost for a traveler is the sum of his or her flight cost and the money spent the countries visited. So when you calculate the total cost, it has three elements. Number one is the total flight cost plus you're visiting two countries. So for every country, whatever money you're spending, if you add these value, it will turn to be total cost. Then the citizens of the four countries with the knowledge of these travels made a few observations. So they made some observation with spend measured in the respective local currency. So when any citizen is making a comment or when he is calculating the expenditure of these people, he is calculating in their own local currency. So when Arovia citizen says J and K visited our country and their travel costs were 3,500 and 8,000 respectively. So this has to be 3,500 A and 8,000 A. So let's try to figure out this question, how we can structure this. So I'll write name of the people, J, K, and L. Here I'll write three countries, A, B, and C. I'm not going to write Z because these three people are going to visit among these three countries only. And everyone is visiting exactly two countries that has been given already. Here I can write flight cost. In this, maybe I'll write whatever the local spend as well as total cost, whatever is given to us. And here at the end, I can write total cost as well. Okay. So now one exchange rate that has been given is, you can say 1C is equal to 0.5 Z, or indirectly you can say 1Z is equal to 2C. Now flight cost of Zeno is 4,000 Z. So I can write this value has to be 4,000 Z. Here there are two possibilities. Either it can have 5,000 Z. In that case, this person L will spend flight cost is 6,000 and it could be vice versa also. So there are two possibilities. Nice. Let's go to the next part. As per a citizen from country A, J and K visited our country. So J visited and K visited. And the travel cost was 3,500 and 8,000. So total travel cost of J is 3500 A and total cost for K is 8000 A. Now I can say there are three components to the cost. So can I write J flight plus J is visiting country A plus J must be visiting either B or C. I'm not sure as of now. This has to be equal to 3500 A. Right? And we have to figure out what could be the best exchange between Z and A. Now let's similarly for K's flight cost plus K traveling A plus K must be traveling one more country. This together is 8000 A. Now let's read the next part of the set. B's citizen says Kira and Lion, K and L visited our country, spending 2000, 3000 respectively, and Kira's travel cost was 4000. Travel cost means total cost. So I think Kira's total cost as for country, so Kira visited B. So you can say Kira is visiting two countries, A as well as B. And as per citizen of A, Kira's total cost is 8000 A, while for citizen B, Kira's total cost is 4000 B. But the value has to be the same. So in this context, I can clearly say that 4000 B has to be equal to 8000 A, which means 1 B. So now we know the ratio exchange between currency B as well as currency A. Right? And this now you can say KF plus KA plus KB will become 8000 A, or it could be equal to 4000 B. Interesting. And then it also says that K spent 2000 in country B. So this guy spent 2000 B and L spent 3000 B. Right. Now you know there are one value of 3000, one spend of 3000, two spend of 1000. So rest three spend has to be of 2000. And the point also says that each traveler has different spend in the two countries he or she visited. So now this value that K visiting A has to be 1000. Why? Because it cannot have 3000. 3000 spend is already gone. So this value is already gone. So, and 2000 B, K has already spent in country B. So now this value has to be different. So I can take 1000 A. Now this is going to help me to figure out what could be the now we know that if you use this, already the value of KB is 2000. So you can say KF plus KA is equal to 2000 B. Yes. And now we know that this is 1000 A. So this can be equal to 500 B. As we know, the exchange rate for 1B is equal to 2A. So you can say KA is also 500 B. So flight cost of K has to be 2000 B minus 500 B, which is equal to 1500 B. Now, we know that flight cost of K could be either 5000 or 6000. Now, if you look at 1500 B, 6000 is multiple of 1500. So in all the likelihood, like I'll take that educated guess in this question, that in all the likelihood, this value has to be 6000 Z. If this case doesn't fit, we will come back. But right now, I think that this could be the best possible way of handling this question. So I can say 1B is equal to 4Z. So now we all know all the exchanges, like 1B is equal to 2A is equal to 4Z is equal to 8C. This is the complete exchange that we know. So now we know that flight cost of K has to be 6000 Z. In that case, flight cost of this person has to be 5000. For L has to be 5000 Z. Now the last point says, as per C's citizen, L visited our country and her travel cost was 36,000. So this value has to be 36,000 C. I'm sorry, I'll write over here 36,000 C. Or this could be equal to what you can say 18,000 Z. Right? Or this could be equal to, if I can convert into B, then I will divide it by 8. That is 4500 B. Now, how much money CL will spend in country C? That is what we have to figure out, right? So, either it could be 1000 or 2000. Now you can't take 1000 because if you take this to be 1000, J will spend same amount of 2000 in country A as well as in country C. Why? We have already 1000, we have already said 2000 got. Now we are left with these three values. Out of these three value, I can't allocate 1000 over here. Otherwise, the spend of J in both the countries is going to be similar and which will be contradictory to the condition. So you can clearly say this value has to be 2000 C. So now we can just put these values. So else spent in country B will be 3000 B in turn, which will become 24,000 Z plus, sorry, 24,000 C plus 2000 C spending on this, and 10,000, 5,000 Z will become 10,000 C, which makes it to 36,000 C. So I think it means we have done correctly. Now we have to figure out for A. A is spending 3,500 A, in which 2,000 A will become his flight cost, right? So now he has to spend 1,500 A altogether. So now I can't take this value to be 2000 A because 2000 A is anyway more than 1,500 A. So here he has to spend how much? 1000 A. And here he'll spend 2000 C. And this 2000 C will indirectly become 500 A. So now this makes up to 1000 A plus 500 A plus 2000 A. So flight cost is 3,500 A. So now we know all the spent, like J is spending 1000 A in country A and 2000 C in country C. K is spending 1000 A in country A and 2000 B in country B. L is spending 3000 B as well as 2000 C. So we have already, figured out like there are two spend of 1000, one spend of 3000, three spend of 2000. And we could also figure out the exchange rate between A, B and Z. So now we are good to solve the question of this set. So let me just erase the above data a little bit so that we can comfortably answer the question. Look at the first question of this set. What is the sum of travel costs for all travelers in Gentas? So in terms of Gentas, what is the total cost? So I think for 3,500 A J spending, that will become 7,000 Z plus 8,000 A will become 16,000 Z plus 6,000 C means 18,000 Z. So that will be total travel spend at this value. 18,000 plus 16,000 is 34,7, 41,000 Z. So I think for question number 5, our answer will be 41,000 Z. Look at the next question. How many Gentas did Leon spend in two countries he visited? So Leon spent 3,000 B, which means 12,000 Z plus 2,000 C means 1,000 Z. So you can clearly say this value has to be 13,000 Z Gentas. So the answer has to be 13,000. What was Janu's total spend in the two countries he visited in Orals? So Janu's spend is here 1000 A and here is again 1000 A. So Janu's spend in A is 1000 A and here it is 500 A. So Janu's spend will become 1500 A. So for question number 7, answer will become 1500 A. 1 Brin is equal to how many crowns? So obviously 1 B is equal to 8 C. So option number 2 is correct for question number 8. And which of the following statement is not true about money spent in local currency? J spent 2000 in A. J spent 2000 A is not correct. L spent 2000 in C. L spent 2000 in C is absolutely right. J spent 2000 in C. J spent 2000 C is also correct. And K spent 1000 in A is also correct. So what is not correct is option number 1. So for question number 9, option 1 is the correct answer. That's all. Thank you.